Hello guys. I just went through and deleted a couple of posts that I saw in the group that were like spammers. It sucks. Because, you know, you don't know who's gonna do it. But there's been a recurring theme with people lately, like scam accounts, spam accounts. The other day I shared a video about my dream and then it ended up like the week before I had a thing from Chase come here with a man's name on it, and it was like, we had to close your account for bad activity, fraudulent bullshit. And I was like, that's weird. Why would it come here to my address? And then another one for like a different credit card company to a different dude's name. And I'm like, maybe this is the neighbors. They put their wrong, I don't know, boop, 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 boop. Then the day that I had the dream and I shared that thing, another one for Chase came, and it was a woman's name. And my dad is a Pisces. He's very intuitive. Whenever he says, like, his little weird boops, it's like, oh. So he was like, why don't you look up the name? It was Jody Beal. And I looked it up, and it came back as a shamanic Akashic practitioner or whatever. And then when I looked it up on Facebook, it was like a person in Rhode Island. No, not Rhode Island. Another state, basically. I can't think of the name of it for some reason. But anyways, I'm pretty sure it's my ex because that's what he does. That's what he went to jail for 6 years for, was making fake people and scammed an elderly woman out of like $1 million, I guess. I don't know where the $1 million went because we were living in a basement at his mother's house for years. And but I know he like did a lot of shitty stuff. Now his friend owes $1 million because of it. And it's like I knew when he got out that it was likely that he would do something because he's a vindictive evil man. And when I left him, I paid off all the stuff he opened in my name then because I was like a dumb little like younger version of myself and was like, do I don't know what to do. I'll just pay it off. And then the EIN number, which is like a tax number for businesses, if you don't know, he had one of those opened in my name for Plymouth Automotive Group. But his friend ran Plymouth Auto Group. And I'm like, so he was scamming that friend. He was scamming me. He sold my car to a state cop and told me, who do you think they're gonna believe? And I was like, I still have the title to that. And I know there's something going on right now for everybody out there, not just myself. Whatever happened in 2015, moving forward, you have the chance right now to like not repeat the same mistakes. So there's been a lot of stress in my life. Like I've been struggling, with just everything. I was struggling with my health, my wealth, my like mind, my everything. And there was somebody in my life for a year. Well, like more than a year. She joined my membership, but she had been watching me for a while before she joined that. And she apparently sent me an email one time that I never saw. I never saw it. I never knew about it. But she was like offering to help me with admin work at the time. And then when she joined the membership, she was like, just there to learn how to do business stuff on her own. But she never had a clear, like, objective. She never had a clear what she was trying to do or accomplish. And it changed often. And I didn't judge that because I bounce around a lot too, but I still have a very clear objective in the fact of like, do something, do something, even if you're going to change it up, keep continuing to do something, try it out, explore. If you fail, whatever, do what works for you. Keep exploring and pulling in more things that you can put to your repertoire of tool belt. And I have a lot of things in my tool belt, which is good for me. It makes me happy. It's like, ooh, I don't have to do the same thing every day. I can do an in-person event. I can do an online event. I can do a website for somebody, or I can go onto my website and do all the stuff for that. I could go onto here, there, or there. I could go place this, boop, 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 boop. But that's taken a long time to build up and have all of that stuff. And it's just like, I didn't find her doing that. I didn't find her like acquiring anything. It was just more so start something, wipe it out. And there was a lot of lies that I was fooled by because you wouldn't expect people to lie about what this person lied about. like really messed up stuff. And that was like, I let this person come into my home and stuff, and when I did, everything was great in my life. Everything was like, everything was going in really good direction. And then I got a message, do not let this person in your house. Like a very strong one. And I was like, and that person came and stayed and left. And then I let another person into my house, and I thought it was like connected to them. I started wondering if it was my sister or my dad, because they had been in my house. But it's like, no, it was that fucking bitch the whole time. But if people, like, she was an active witch, okay? Like, full on crushing up bones and doing crazy things that I would never do. Like, the extent of my witch work is literally, like, whatever's in one of these books. Like, I've been on Instagram every night for 20 nights. I've got 10 more to go. We've been doing 30 nights of rituals and activations. And it's like, get a candle, do a boop-a-doop. So I'm, like, literally taking it out of here. I do shamanic practices and traditions and work, which is totally different than witch work, and I won't infringe on free will, which this witch, I'm pretty sure did. I'm pretty sure she was like hexing me. And again, it doesn't have to be with a cauldron for somebody to hex you. Somebody could just hate on you, be jealous of something. Like, she came and stayed here and she had nothing. And that's why I let her come stay with me, because I felt bad for her. And I was like, she stayed here for 3 weeks. The first day she was here, she's like, I took a nice long hot shower. And I'm like, because at the time my dad had been turning off the furnace at different points because it was warm enough to not need heat. And he was like conserving oil because we only needed it for a shower. And she knew that because there was times in the membership that it was like, I just got out of a cold shower because he wasn't here to like do the furnace thing, and I didn't know how, and it was like a pain in my ass, and I didn't like it at all. I need showers regularly, hot ones preferably. I do turn it cold at the end to like shock myself for the shock therapy, but I need to heat up first. And I don't know, she did that. She stayed here for 3 weeks. She like, the reason why like things even led to that was because of something she told me with her pet. And like lately I've been seeing some stuff that makes me lead to believe that she lied about all of that, because nothing added up about the circumstances around it. Nothing adds up about the circumstances now, about like when I'm looking at her on her video and I'm like, isn't that the dog that was supposed to be dead? Wait a minute. I don't think she thought that I paid attention enough, because a lot of people think that about me, that she's not paying attention. I'm fucking paying attention to everything. I don't say everything. I don't have to look at you to feel you. I don't have to see you to hear you. I don't have to hear you to feel you. You know what I mean? And I started feeling it worse and worse and worse over time. And then I started like not being able to walk, not being able to do anything, clean my house, make money, just everything broke. Me, my brain, my life. And not too long ago, I did a curse reversal type of thing. And again, I'm not a witch. It's just, you either got it or you don't, right? It's like, it's just magic, but it's not even magic. It's intention. So I do candle magic because it's fire, flame, right? It's fast. So I lit a candle and I just said like a little thing. Rhymes come to me very easily, and that's what it was. I was like, I'll share it in here too. But basically, I did that, and at the end of it, I said, I now reverse this curse, or something like that. And I kept listening to it. And I started seeing more clearly how this person was. Like when I would go live, during the live, I didn't necessarily notice it, but when I would watch it back, I was like, micro expressions of hate, micro expressions of disdain, micro expressions of just whatever, to the point where I sent it to my dad and was like, what do you take from this? And then this happened to me back with the membership before, where there was someone in my community that was like a covert narcissist and was really rude to me behind the scenes. Would say things like, because they were like in a rush to get into a relationship and meet somebody and have a baby, and I was like, well, you should be careful with that, because that's like how you get into a relationship with a narcissist. Oh, only dumb, stupid, like, people with blah, 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 blah would end up in a relationship with a narcissist. And I'm like, thanks. Because she knew I had been in one, you know? So it was like underhanded digs like that were like growing by the day. But at the same time, this person was growing and more like myself. They had been a dog walker, turned into a tarot reader, traveled across the country. The whole time that they were preparing to travel across the country back to their hometown, they kept saying it was not to go towards their twin flame, who had not responded to any of their messages or anything in a long ass time. So I was like, do not move across country if you're just doing it for him. I'm not. I want to be closer to my mom. Because this person also believed that in California it was impossible to find somebody and get pregnant and have a baby there. It just does not happen there ever. I'm like, okay. So maybe it's a rare thing, but I'm pretty sure if you check the hospital records, there's probably births every day. But that was their mindset. So I was like, if you really believe that you can't have the lifestyle that you want to have there, and you're getting older, your clock's ticking, then maybe you should move home. But do not do it if you're just going to go after him, because he had said he didn't want a long distance relationship. And the more I got to know her, the more I feel like that was just like his excuse for, I don't want to talk to you anymore. But she moved across the country, and when she got there, she was like, I just moved 2,000 miles, and he won't talk to me. I'm like, you just lied to us for months. And then she attacked another girl in the group, and that was my breaking point. I was like, get out. So this other girl that's been around, she didn't attack anybody per se. I think she has done stuff to the phones, because I've done a factory reset. Now all of a sudden I'm not having the problems I was having. And she sent like links to everybody and the stuff, and like a lot of the girls have the same exact issues where their storage is full, no matter what they do, no matter how many apps they take out, no matter what I show them to clear their cache, to doop a boop a boop a boop a doop. It's like, no, your phone is full of shit. And it was getting to the point where it's like, and I didn't say anything to anybody for so long about any of it. I was just like holding all of this within me, which is a big mistake. And somebody in my life was like, a year ago had said, you should get that person out of your life then, because of something that was going on at the time, which I don't even remember what it was, but I was like really sad because I didn't want to lose another friend. So instead of losing another friend, I let my life just be, So I did the cars reverse thing and all that stuff. Now this stuff, I start seeing more clearly about this girl, and I'm like, huh. And then I said something to another girl within the group of our people, who their common, thing was me. They were in my membership. They were, around the whole time that I was like getting really sick and all of that. And they were supportive the whole time. And I've got to know them, built relationships with them. We've had one-on-one times for 8 hours at a time sometimes. And I said something to one of the girls about creating a schedule for herself, because she's now working as a, full-time on her own thing. And it's hard to do that, especially with ADHD. If you're not sitting your ass down somewhere, it's like, this is work time for this thing. It won't get done. And I said that to her, right? And then out of nowhere, this other girl comes and leaves me a voice message and is like, I set my schedule up for this, that, ba-doop. Basically all the things that I had just told the other girl to do. And I was like, oh, that's so weird. Synchronicity. But then I started thinking back over all the times that, like, her and my dad were the only two people I ever really texted with. But whenever I would text with him and her at the same fucking time, it would, like, literally drive me insane, to the point where I wouldn't be able to deal with it anymore because of the level of fucking synchronicity, which was not synchronicity. It was her seeing my stuff. Whenever I would, like, open up a thing to, like, review, like, not to review, but just to go see my dad's thing, it would be like, like I had scanned all the way to the beginning of our conversation, and I didn't do that. So I'm like, what the fuck is that about? And then it would happen with the other girl that I started talking to. So I finally confided in the other girl I was talking to, and I was like, this is really weird. It's like every time I say something to you, this other girl like pops in with like some weird thing that it's like she's listening or hearing or watching or something. And so then that other girl's aware of this now, she starts having it happen to her. Like, I would say something to the girl, like, the new girl, right, starts something to say something to her. And, like, that other one would message me, and then 2 seconds later, message her. And then the day that I was offering something to another girl within the bigger group of our girls, I was like, you can come stay with me for a weekend. Because I could tell that she was, like, suicidal. I could just tell, because I've had a lot of people in my life that have lost to it. And I can tell the difference between people who are actually contemplating, the people who are acting that way to get your attention, and the people who are maybe not going to do it, but it's like they're at the point where they just feel hopeless and that they would be better off dead, but they're maybe afraid to do it for whatever reason. And I just knew that, like, that girl was not in a good place, and I was like, you come stay with me for a weekend. And then the girl comes on into the thing, which was a group chat thing, and was like, I could hear it in her voice, and I was like, you fucking stayed with me for 3 weeks. I didn't ask you to. You just asked if you could come stay. And you didn't tell me it was gonna be like forever, you know? Because then when she left, those 3 weeks, she asked to move in, and I said no. Because I wasn't, I want, the first of all, it's not my house. Second of all, like, no. Like, I'm not, because she didn't have any money. She didn't have a job. She wasn't doing it. I'll come help you, and you can make money, and pay me, and give me a place to look. That sounds fucking great for you, but not me. Because, again, I wasn't in a great position. So, finally, clarity, right? Reverse curse. Ba-boop, ba-doop. She intervened with me and my friend about that schedule thing and, like, tried to say that I sent her to that other girl to help her with the schedule. That was a lie. I never said that. And then the other girl that I offered to come stay with me for a weekend, she jumped in between us and was like, "You can, I'll come see you." Oh, boo, 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 about whatever. And then, like, tried to tell me that I didn't need to be letting her come to stay. And, like, control freak about stuff. And then created a thing that she was, like, expecting all of us to use, like a server. And I'm like, that's fine and dandy if you guys want to go with it, but I'm not going in there posting all my stuff about business and business tips and helping people to grow and do all of that in someone else's server. I'll make my own. You guys can join that, and I'll do it there. But I'm not going to do that on someone else's, and that's just a smart business move. And then it was just like, you know what? If I need to get rid of this girl, like, if she's really doing all these things, start showing me 333. And I started seeing 333. And I was like, okay, goodbye. I got rid of her and another one who, like, got into cahoots with her just real quick. And it was, like, weird. But it was almost like that other one was, like, the catalyst for that one, for me to see some things about her, because I know for a fact they, like, had said some stuff. And I just know. It's what happens with girls. But the girls that I have right now that are in my, like, seven sister thing, they're not like that. I know they're not like that. They've proven themselves to me over an extended amount of time. I've never doubted them. I've never worried about them being like, I've never had, like, a second guess or whatever. They don't force me to do anything. They don't expect me to do anything. They're not rude to me when I, need time or whatever. They're very supportive girls. So, since having that removal, even more clarity, even more good things, even more awesome stuff. Of course, now I'm seeing the other things showing up here, people potentially using my name, potentially using my social security number because he's got that memorized. But I know no matter what's going on in those terms, I'm not going to just sit down and take it. I'm going to call Chase today and find out what's going on with all these accounts coming to my fucking house. Like, what is going on, guys? This isn't, like, what? Like, it's not my name, not my name, not my name. It's my address. It's not my name. What's the social security number, please? Like, and it sucks because it's like, I don't even know those whole process or whatever. But telling you guys this because I know that it impacted me in every way possible. So if you've been doubting, if you've been questioning people in your life, get rid of them. Because even if they're not doing something in a cauldron, they are doing something in your mind which will impact you. Because if you're doubting somebody in your life, that's enough for them to hex you or curse you. That's enough for the effects of it to get to you. So maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. I'm pretty sure she was doing something. whether it was just being weird to a degree where it got really, like, not okay, or whatever. I was already in a vulnerable position because of, like, you know, where I was at in my life. Like, I had just been diagnosed with Lyme in 2020. 2021 is when this thing showed up. You know, this group thing I did. And now, you know, 2022 was kind of like another year of just got even worse to the point where I was couldn't walk and all of that. And now 2023, we're in a time where it's like we get to redo, we get to fix, we get to put the boundaries up we've never done. Because in 2015, I did give way too much for free. I did do much for everybody else but me because I just wanted everybody to love me. I didn't want to lose friends. But now it's like, if you only want to be my friend because I have information, or you only want to be my friend because I could do something good for you, I don't want to be your friend. You know, value me, value my time, value my energy, or go away. We can reciprocate. It doesn't have to be compensated in money, but it needs to be value. It needs to be respectful. It needs to be balanced. And I've done those 20 nights so far, but there's probably 40 different goddesses and gods that I've done rituals with, and every single one I feel like I'm seeing the magic of. Like I did, to call back your power. She's a storm goddess, and that night it poured and it rained. Like my umbrella flipped and stuff. Like everything was just like, and I was like, oh yeah, oh yeah, and that's the goddess's name. But that is on my Divine Essential Instagram. All of those are there. I'm going to be trying to post them sporadically onto the Divine Essentials YouTube channel. I changed the Brigid Round channel to Be Creatively You, which is where I started off in 2015 as Be Creatively You. And I ended up changing it to Divine Essentials to encompass all the essentials of the divine. But Be Creatively You is still where it all started for me. And I've been having nothing but bees and bee synchronicity, and like literally like it's like the gods are like, here, we're sacrificing bees to you. I've got a bunch of bees downstairs to put in pyramids. I feel better. My feet are like healed. The left foot is like has been the one that's like a little behind, but it's literally closed. The hole that was on top of both of my feet have closed. I don't have pain anymore. I don't have sleepless nights anymore. Like I took a nap earlier today. And then I went to sleep last night around 1 after the live. And then I woke up at 3 and fed the dogs. And now it's probably like 4 or 5. And I'm going to be going back to sleep for a little while. But I've been sleeping through the night. I've been eating. I've been drinking. I've been like eating good foods. Like all the things that weren't working for me are working for me again. I'm still fixing and remedying things and figuring things out. But I just want to let other people know that like, who I was for the last year really isn't who I am at my core. I feel like I was like under a spell. I feel like I was just not in a good place. And I feel like some of it was my own creation. Some of it was, it's all my own creation. But I feel like some of it was manipulated by others. But I allowed those people to stay, so it's still my own creation. It's still my own fault for allowing it, which we're not doing in 2023 or 2024 or 2025. And my goal is to gather as much up as I can to get myself to a place so that I don't have to stay in a place where I'm not feeling good all of the time. When the sun comes, I'm happy. When spring comes, it's always much better for me. So why do I live somewhere where 9 months of the year I'm miserable? You know what I mean? And even in other years, I was never that miserable, never to the point where I couldn't get up and clean my house and all of that stuff. Like, I can make it work. But I don't want to make it work for the second part of my life or the last part of my life or whatever. I want my life to be my life. I'm staying here out of guilt, staying here out of like necessity, or not even necessity, out of like guilt, out of like, oh, it's what I should do because of family, because of friends, because blah 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 blah. But it's my life. It's not their life. And I don't even see any people that are in my life on the level of like the people I was thinking about staying here for. It's like, I don't see you. I don't see you. I don't see you. So why the fuck am I staying here? You know what I mean? So if you've been putting your life on hold, or you've been doing things because of guilt, or you've been feeling like about people or whatever, cut the people out. Move. Do what you got to do for you. Live your life for yourself. Because you're going to regret it if you don't. You know? I don't want to sit on my deathbed and regret. I want to sit on my deathbed and be like, I'm so fucking glad that I finally did what I needed to do for me. So hopefully that will help you guys in some way. And thank you guys for being here throughout the fall of my everything. And hopefully you'll be here for the rise of it. In Namaste.